I'm going to apologize in advance for the rantiness and disorganizedness of this tutorial. This is very complicated stuff, and I'm only doing this because I firmly believe in sharing all the knowledge I have about editing 2K on the PC with all of you guys. So if you don't understand this, I apologize. I will try to make this more user-friendly, probably for 2K14, but for the time being, I'm going to do the best I can. So for editing crowd positions in NBA 2K13, it's something that is not the easiest thing to do, but it's something that we can do with the amazing tool that Leftos made, Hex on Steroids. So let's go ahead and load this up. Hex on Steroids. So what the problem is that right now there's no way to automatically detect where the crowds are, where they're located, and how many there are, and their positions, and all that fun stuff. What I can do, and what I did do, and I'll show this in another tutorial, is set up profiles for one specific court for each specific version of the crowd that I have. If I go ahead and just show you guys what I had here, I have a couple different courts with the same if file, or the same court, the same stadium, but with different crowds. So no crowd at all. The 735 is the summer circuit court crowd. The rooftop court crowd, the 2K11 blacktop crowd, and the Rucker Park crowd. And then I've also customized this a little bit for these. So I'm going to try to show you basically how I edit these. First I set up a Hex on Steroids custom profile, which I've released for the create your own uniform, or create your own arena file. And let's just do it with the Rucker Park crowd. So I have the profile loaded. Let's go ahead and open up one with the Rucker Park crowd. 611. There we go. So we load this up, and this is all of the crowd position data for this file. And as we can see, there's actually 726 different crowd people, audience members at Rucker Park when you play on this court. Now this is the X coordinate, this is the Y coordinate, and this is the Z coordinate. The Z coordinate shows verticality. So this one right here, and this last one is orientation. I have no idea how the hell they calculated these kind of numbers for orientation, but it does work. All these crowd members are facing one way, all these crowd members are facing another way. That's just the way it works. The first thing you gotta know is that when you're moving people, if you move them outside of their original position too far, the camera won't show them unless the original position is also being showed. So even though we can move the positioning, we can't move the crowd members too far, or else they'll disappear. So these profiles are released, and like I said, they're specifically made for that if file and made for creating your own arena, and ideally a street court. So let's say I want to take the crowd and get rid of all of the what do you call them? Benches, where they sit. I'm forgetting the name. The grandstands. And I want them all to sit and stand on the ground along with the court. That means I need to change this one right here. And it seems like -2 is the value I need to put in for that. So what I can do is just go ahead and select all of this, all the way to the right, shift click and copy. Go into OpenOffice Calc or Excel, whatever you want, and paste it in. And I can go ahead and just do -2 here, copy it, click here, go all the way to the end, click here, paste it all in, so the -2, copy it there, and go all the way back over here and paste it in, and now they're all -2. Now they're all on the ground. And that is just one quick and dirty way that I can just make all the crowd members just be on the ground, and then I can save that and be all great. Let's go ahead and open up I just had it, not crowd ready, the other one, the regular one right there. So now we're back to this. Now let's say I want to have actual custom positioning with this. I've actually used SketchUp for this, which is very sketchy, but I'll show you guys how I do this. So I'm going to go ahead and copy out the XYZ data for the crowd members here for Rucker Park. Go ahead and copy that, and I'm going to go all the way to the left again and paste it into here. Hi Leftos. So I can go ahead and copy all this data, since I want to make a CSV of this. copy it, or shift click there, copy, go to a new sheet, right, and then we're going to paste this in, but I want it to be vertical, not horizontal. So I go here, paste special, transpose, okay. So now it's all going down like this. Next up, I need to create a CSV file of this, so I can press save here, and we'll just do video crowd CSV, and then we need to change this to .csv, and it'll give me some warning, and we want to change this to the semicolon. Okay, only active sheet, that's great. We can go ahead and minimize this, go ahead and minimize that. Let's load up SketchUp. And there is a way that you can import point files into SketchUp. It's called Points Cloud. It's just a plugin. You can search for SketchUp plugins and find this. It's pretty easy to find. Let's go ahead and press import. Point of origin is going to be the center. We can go ahead and select our video crowd CSV. And we're going to do a data delimiter of the semicolon we chose earlier. Do it in inches. Press OK. We want to change datum 2. This is datum 2 right here to Z. And then this one's the Y, so we need to change that to Y. OK. We can ignore, and we do not. So as you can see here, we now have all the crowd data into SketchUp where we can visually change all this crap. And to use SketchUp, you can just select it. And as you can see, it's all in a group, so you can right-click it, and you can edit the group and go in here and just edit these things and just use the different tools to move the crowd around. Now, like I said, if you move them too far out like this, you know, if you put them out into the middle of the court like this, if the camera is here and facing this way, and it's not actually showing where these crowd members originally were, it will not show up. You will not be able to see these crowd members on the court. However, if the camera's over here facing this way, and the camera can actually see over here, then these people will still show up. But this is just a way that you can just visually select and grab and rotate if you want to, all that fun stuff. When you're done editing it, you can go ahead and close the group. Actually, no, you need to be in the group, excuse me. Hey, come on now. Edit group. Go ahead and select all the points. Go to File, Points Cloud, Export. Export in inches. Video to CSV. Fantastic. So we can go ahead and close out SketchUp. And we can open this up in Calc. That's okay. Now, what they've done is they've actually shifted the Y and the Z coordinates. So we need to select all this and, and drag this over, select these two, and drag them back over to the format that 2K likes. So select here, scroll all the way down to the bottom, copy, go back to your other other file, and you can go right in here, right click, paste special, transpose, and now they all show up just like that again. Now the only thing you need to be careful of, you see how these have all these decimal points? You cannot have decimal points. So when you import back into Hex on steroids, or else it's going to crash the game. So what you can do is add a decimal place and then remove it, so that all of them are whole numbers. We go ahead and copy this, go back to Hex on steroids, go back to the beginning of the file, click here, and a paste. And now we have new crowd positioning that we can save and do all the stuff we want to with. There's a couple issues to keep in mind with this. You need to make sure that the points that you put into SketchUp come out in the same position as when they come out. The way I've done that so far, which is a problem because it's not exactly easy to do this, but what I've done is I've just done negative 2.0001 and then negative 2.002, and then I've done it like this. And then when I was in SketchUp, I made sure not to change the elevation of any of the crowd members, because if you jumble up the order, you're going to have disappearing crowds, because the game is going to think that the crowd is in one position and they're really not. So I do this to keep things sorted, so that when it comes back out of SketchUp, I can sort it and be all happy again. The other issue is that when you have crowds that have over 1,024 crowd members in it. So let's just load that up. I believe the summer circuit court has it like this. So we'll load this up. And let's say we want to copy all of the crowd members out. And as you can see, we have 2,680 people in that stadium, that summer circuit stadium, which is amazing. So if I go here and press paste, and you go all the way over, I should probably go all the way over here, and go all the way to the end of the file, you see we only have 1,024 slots in the open office calculator, or calc spreadsheet. That's a problem. So what I'd have to do is go back into Hex on steroids, navigate over to 1024, and then copy it out and paste it back in here. So I don't believe that you can transpose with this. You have to get it into the program first before you can transpose it down, which sucks, but that's just a workaround that you have to do due to the limitations of OpenOffice Calc and Excel. It's like that too. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really need to mention about this. It's very complicated. It's not easy. It's a pain in the ass, but you can do it. If you are curious where the crowd data is, I can show you that. If you load up the 2KX mod tool, open up any of the stadium files. And in this case, I'll just load up my custom one. You go scroll down. You look for this kind of thing right here. It's a grayscale texture up top ×4, and then all this staticky shit underneath it. If you go to the one below that, so in this case 17, this is actually the crowd data. You can't see it, but it's there. You can go to export file, and we'll go to desktop, and we'll just call it crowd data. Crowd data. If you open this up in your hex editor, you just see a jumbled mess of crap, right? Scroll down a little bit and see how everything gets formatted properly. This is actually the crowd data right here. So you can see here, if I click here, it's all int 16, so negative 614, negative 2 because they're on the ground, and negative 1933 are the coordinates, and then this is the orientation right here. So all these rows right here are the orientation. I have no idea what the hell these things are. I'm assuming these are showing like a crowd number, like which crowd member is which. But like I said, there's no good way to get that imported and exported out of the file so that SketchUp and any other method you want to use to edit the crowd positioning can handle it. So that is basically it. Yeah, so I can try to help you guys the best I can. I'm going to try to figure out a way to make this more user-friendly for 2K14. But for the time being, that's it. So I hope you learned something. I hope this was at least intelligible to the people who are serious about trying to learn how to do this. And I will see you guys in the next video.